na. So, may nakita pa akong video dito na eto, sa tingin ko eto.
Something just happened in Chicago, and the global
Like
music
something.
industry is pretending it's normal.
I don't know
Something
kung
just happened in
eto yung ano, parang nakita ko lang na tingin ko mukhang interesting yung topic. Interesting yung topic, sabi ko dito. So, sabi ko, i-check ko nga. Pakinggan natin to.
Chicago, and the global music industry is pretending it's normal. SB19 didn't just win Silver Champion at the Tag Victorious Awards.
Okay, so ito yung mga updates sa SB19 na hindi ko totally alam kasi syempre hindi naman tayo yung maghapon sa YouTube, sa Facebook, no? Kasi syempre may mga ginagawa din tayo. So, ito yung mga updates about SB19 na hindi ko alam na nangyayari pala sa kasalukuyan na nagkakaroon pa sila ng mga awards sa mga ganitong parang event, no? So, Silver Champion, SB19 wins P-Pop Star of the Year, Silver Champion at 6th Tag Victorious Awards Chicago. So, para mga I think mga local awards din to sa state, sa Chicago, no? So, yon, ito yung mga achievements na hindi madalas na nire-report sa news, mga ganon, sa balita. So, syempre, kaya sabi ko parang interesting tong panoorin kasi yung ano pa lang, yung pag-enter nila sa US market, no? So, I think as a pure Filipino group, no? Pure Filipino boy band, sabi nating pop group, boy band, tapos Filipino, pure Filipino company, yung 1Z Entertainment. So, para sa akin, malaking achievement din to sa part ng SB19 and syempre sa 1Z Entertainment din, no? Na hindi ko to madalas makita sa mga mainstream social media something.
They sent a message,
to,
a loud one.
I don't think na binabalita to sa Facebook or sa X or sa Twitter man. No, hindi ko alam kasi syempre hindi naman tayo araw-araw or buong araw sa social media. So,
no major
interesting
label,
lang.
no Western machine, no industry backing. And yet,
Yes, ito yung sinasabi ko na kaya ako napaproud kasi nga wala siyang mainstream social connection doon sa mga big company, no, sa mga mainstream company na sinasabi ko dito. Kaya yung achievement ng SB19 is purely on their skills na din, on their talent, syempre, no. Doon mo makikita yung talagang kaibahan ng SB19 sa ibang pop artist sa atin or sa ibang bansa man, K-pop man yan, mapa-C-pop or mapa-J-pop man yan. Ito yung kaibahan ng SB19 dahil sarili nila, sariling kayod na sinasabi natin. So, yeah, yun ang maganda.
they're suddenly breaking into the US market in ways even insiders didn't expect. Now, people inside the industry are starting to talk, and what they're saying changes everything. Because this isn't just a win, it's a disruption. Like, share, subscribe, because what you're about to hear, they don't want going viral. When SB19 stepped onto that stage in Chicago and secured the Silver Champion title at the
So itong mga ganitong something awards na to, so di ko alam na nagkakaroon pala mga ganitong na nangyayari, no, na mga ganitong award, Tag P-Pop Star of the Year. So yeah, new to me, bago sa pandinig ko, bago sa akin na yung mga ganitong awards.
Tag Victorious Awards in 2026, most people saw a win. But the industry? They saw something very different. Because Chicago isn't just another city. It's one of America's most influential cultural and media hubs, deeply connected to labels, festival circuits, and influencer ecosystems that quietly
Chicago,
shape.
Kasi, syempre, alam naman natin, yung Chicago yung may parang may malaking impluensya din when it comes sa mga basketball, sa sports, sa music industry din, 'di ba? Chicago, Broadway, Chicago, mga ganun, especially sa basketball, Chicago Bulls, 'di ba? So, hindi mo rin kasi basta-basta pwedeng anuhin yung ganitong klaseng event na ginagawa
Global
sa
exposure.
kanila, no?
This wasn't about fans voting or celebrating popularity. This event operates within a network of media.
And syempre, ito rin kasi yung madalas na laging pinag-aawayan ng mga grupo-grupo, 'di ba? Like something na sinasabi na yung mga fan votes, syempre mananalo't mananalo ang artist na gusto mo kung idadaan sa fan votes dahil marami yung nagmamahal doon sa grupo na yon, 'di ba? Hindi mo pwede kasing i-disregard yung fan votes kasi yun nga yung humahakot ng ng boto eh. Like i-disregard mo ba yung fan votes when pagdating sa botohan? Kasi syempre majority niyan mananalo, 'di ba? So kung i-disregard mo yung fan vote, sasabihin mo na hindi, nanalo lang naman 'yan dahil sa mga boto ng mga tao na fan nila. Syempre mananalo 'yan sa padamihan ng fan, 'di ba? Sa bilang ng fan, 'di ba? 'Yun lang naman 'yun eh. Hindi mo pwedeng i-disregard yung gusto ng tao, 'di ba? Kasi kung sa padamihan lang ng fan, panalo na kung sino yung mananalo doon, ibig sabihin mas maraming fans, 'di ba? So hindi mo pwedeng hindi nanalo lang 'yan dahil sa mga fan na boto nila 'yun eh, 'di ba? Yun nga yun eh, yun nga yung sukatan ng level ng ng kasikatan ng mga tao dun sa dami ng fans. Kasi mas maraming nagmamahal, ibig sabihin mas maraming relate sa kanila. Yun lang yun. So sa pagdating sa fans, hindi mo pwedeng pagtalo na yun. Hindi mo pwedeng pagdebatehan yung issue pagdating sa fan kasi mas maraming fan, ibig sabihin mas maraming nagmamahal doon sa artist na yun, no? Ngayon naman, pagdating sa entertainment na humahawak, ngayon, doon na yun magkakaroon ng shady area, di ba? Kasi pwede naman kasing sabihin ng kunyari, ako yung may hawak sa ganitong artist, babayaran ko na lang yung mga tao na iboto si ganito. Okay, magpapaano ko ng mga, dito kasi nagkakaroon ng ng issue pagdating sa mga ganitong count ng mga like sa streaming, sa pagbotohan, kasi syempre kung hawak sila ng mainstream media, may kakayahan silang mangbot, 'di ba? Bumili ng mga boto, especially sa mga mainstream media kasi ganoon naman talaga yung kalakaran eh. Even sa US laganap yung ganoon eh, 'di ba? Laganap yung ganoon pag nasa mainstream media ka, may mainstream na humahawak sa iyo, label, may mainstream label na humahawak sa iyo. Para ma-boost lang yung para ma-boost yung inyong visibility, ma-boost yung inyong kanta, ma-boost yung inyong PR nyo, syempre, kailangan nilang yun, kailangan nilang gastusan yung na yun, di ba? Kung ang isang artist, ang nagbo-boost sa kanila is yung mismong fan, hindi kailangan ng mainstream media para sumikat kayo or makilala kayo or sumikat or magkaroon kayo ng awards. Dahil ang mismong mag-a-ads na sa inyo, mismong yung fans nyo. Yun ang kaibahan ng talagang minamahal ng fans sa minamahal ng label. Yun lang yung gusto kong mag-manipulate. Yeah, Caps Lala. Madaling i-manipulate ng mga record label, ng mga record entertainment, yung artist nila dahil doon sa kanilang kakayahan na magbayad, di ba? Na magkaroon ng exposure yung kanilang artist. Pero pag ang fans, ang mismong nag-advertise, mismong fans ang nagsusupport sa artist, hindi kailangan ng artist ang malaking label para sumikat, para magkaroon ng awards. Alam na natin kung si SB19, isa yan sa patunay na mismong fans na nila ang mismong nagpapalaganap ng work ng SB19 dahil sa talent din ng SB19. So, pagdating sa voting, hindi mo pwedeng questionin ang boto ng mga fans.
Media visibility, brand alignment, and strategic placement, where artists are often observed, measured, and tested before being taken seriously at a higher level. And that's where things get interesting. SB19 didn't just win. They were placed in front of the right eyes, at the right time, in the right environment. That's not coincidence. That's positioning. The Western music industry rarely moves loudly when introducing international acts. Instead,
kasi SB19 ilang beses nang nag-guest sa ibang mga TV shows, 'di ba? Sa ibang bansa, 'di ba? Nag-perform na rin sila sa mga parang TV shows, mga morning show, 'di ba, sa ibang bansa. So, doon pa lang masasabi mo na eh. 'Di ba? Kaya wag kami.
in the right environment. That's not coincidence. That's positioning. The Western music industry rarely moves loudly.
Ito yun, 'di ba, yung ito. So, 'di ba? Hello. Pure Filipino, 'di ba? Hindi sila sakop ng international label, 'di ba? Tapos pumapasok sila sa ganyan. Diba?
when introducing international acts. Instead, it watches how they perform under controlled visibility moments like this, and SB 19 passed that test. Cleanly, quietly, effectively.
Yeah. Pag cleanly, quietly, effectively, kasi si SB19 ang nagdadala na sa kanila yung fans. 18s. No? Yun na yun mismo. Tayo ang nag-aano sa SB19 na may palaganap natin sa buong bansa, mundo na. Ito si SB19, super worth it ang kanilang talent, super worth it pakinggan ang kanilang mga kanta. So, yun, tumatay ng si Panaling kasi nagma-market 'di ba? Para sa akin.
Looks like recognition
Dahil sa pagmamahal.
on the surface is actually something much deeper, a calculated step into the US ecosystem. Because this is how global artists are soft launched into America.
Kasi alam nyo kung bakit mas madaling makilala. Kasi ang mga fan din kasi sabihin, mga fan kasi talagang like yung artist magre-request na, "Uy, collab niyo si mga ganito," 'di ba? So, pag maraming fan ang nakikitaan kasi mas lalong, "Uy, sino ba tong SB19 na to?" 'di ba? Parang ano ba yung talent ng SB19? So, nagkakaroon ng curiosity yung ibang artist, yung ibang company na bakit bukang bibig nila lagi si SB19? Anong meron dito sa SB19? So, doon na nagkakaroon ng curiosity si anything, mapa-event man yan, mapa-awards man yan, anong meron dito sa SB19? So, nagkakaroon silang curiosity, 'di ba? Doon mo makikita yung sukatan ng fan. Doon mo makikita yung sukat ng pagmamahal, kung gaano kamahal ng
Not with
fan ng
noise,
SB19.
but with strategic exposure that only insiders truly recognize. Now here's where the story stops looking organic and starts looking engineered. Because right after that
Yeah. Yung term niya din is organic.
Chicago moment,
Organic
SB19
na organic.
was confirmed for Lollapalooza 2026. One of the biggest music festivals in the United States,
Yeah.
held in the exact same city. That's not just timing, that's alignment. And in the music industry, alignment usually signals strategy. Think about the sequence. First comes recognition through an award tied to media networks, building credibility in front of industry insiders. Then comes exposure, placing the artist in front of a massive, diverse festival audience that isn't already a fan base. And finally, if everything clicks, comes conversion, turning curious listeners into real US supporters. This is a proven blueprint, one that has been used before by Latin artists and even K-pop acts during their early expansion phases into America.
Yeah.
But what makes SB19's case different is that it appears to be happening without the traditional Western label machine pushing it.
Yeah, yun yung sinasabi ko na hindi kailangan ng SB19. Yung sinasabi na mismo dito na hindi katulad ng mga Latino artists, hindi katulad ng mga K-pop artists na pinupush sila ng mga mainstream media outlets na isama. Ito yung sinasabi dito ng narrator dito
Is that it appears to be happening without the traditional Western label machine
Diba?
pushing
See?
it. That's what raises eyebrows.
'Di ba?
Because this
'Di ba? Na papaano nyo nakilala na hindi kayo pinupush ng mga malalaking record label, 'di ba? Ng mga entertainment company na 'yan. Tapos nakikilala kayo, like unti-unti kayong na-recognize, 'di ba?
kind of rollout is rarely accidental. It's structured, intentional, and designed for impact. Which leads to a powerful realization. SB19 isn't just entering the US market. They're being introduced to it in a way that mirrors some of the most successful global breakthroughs we've seen before. Behind the applause and headlines, the real conversation about SB19 is happening in rooms the public never sees. Industry insiders, executives, talent scouts, and label strategists aren't just impressed, they're cautious. Because SB19 operates under One Zed Entertainment, a structure that gives them something most global artists never truly have: control.
Yeah. Kasi nga, since nasa kanila yung company mismo na 1Z, so SB19 as an artist, pero SB19 as a part of that group na rin, part of that company. So, malaya sila kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin. Malaya sila sa kung ano yung gusto nilang tatahaking journey. Mas malaya din sila kung ano yung mga desisyon na gagawin ng SB19 as an artist and then SB19 members as a part of the company. So, yun yung kaibahan ng SB19 sa ibang pop group or pop artist. So, yeah, tama tong sinasabi
They're not
niya.
just performers.
Nasa SB19 mismo yung control kung anong gusto nilang gawin, anong kailangan nilang gawin.
They oversee their music, shape their visuals, influence production decisions, and actively participate in strategy.
Yeah.
That level of autonomy is rare, especially for a group aiming
True.
at international dominance.
Yes.
And that's where the tension begins. The traditional music industry is built on ownership, contracts, percentages, long-term control of catalogs, and branding.
Yep.
But
true.
SB19 doesn't fit cleanly into that system. They're not easily
Dahil sarili nga nila.
managed, not easily directed, and more importantly, not easily owned. For insiders, this creates a quiet but serious concern. Because if an act like SB19 proves that global expansion is possible without surrendering control,
Yeah,
it
true.
challenges the very foundation
So, marami na kasi yung pwedeng sumunod sa yapak ng SB19 na, pwede naman palang hindi na tayo magpasakop sa mga ganitong company, sa mga mainstream media outlets eh. Kasi sa SB19, nagawa naman ni SB19 eh. Bakit tayo yung artist? Hindi. 'Di ba? Bakit hindi na lang tayo gumawa ng sarili nating entertainment company, 'di ba? 'Di ba? So, kaya yung sinasabi ito, magkakaroon siya ng threat sa ibang mainstream media outlets. That is why
of how the industry operates. The bold reality many won't say publicly is this. If SB19 succeeds at scale, it sends a message to every rising artist watching.
diba?
A
True.
message that says labels are no longer the only path
Yes, yun nga.
forward. And that idea alone is enough to make the industry uneasy.
True.
The global music industry has always followed a predictable formula. Massive success usually comes backed by massive infrastructure.
Yeah.
Billion-dollar labels, global distribution networks, radio influence, and marketing machines all work together to manufacture worldwide stars. But SB19 is disrupting that expectation in a way that's hard to ignore.
Yan, kasi nga, pwedeng mawalan sila ng ng mga artist eh. Pwedeng mawalan sila ng mga money-making machine, di ba? Dahil sa strategy ng SB19.
They are, by structure, independent, operating outside the traditional Western
Yeah,
label system
independent.
that
Actually, masasabi mo rin naman talagang independent si SB19 kasi nga, since na sarili nila naman yung company, walang other company na talagang nagpa-finance sa kanila, walang mismong company na nagde-dictate kung ano yung gagawin nyo, ito yung gagawin nyo, ito yung ilalabas nyo, ito yung pupuntahan nyo, wala. Kasi sariling mismong decision nila yon. Although may company silang humahawak sa kanila, pero sariling decision pa rin nila yung kailangan nilang, gusto nilang susundin nila. Kung ano yung decision nila, yun pa rin masusunod. So basically, masasabi mo pa rin na si SB19 ay independent.
typically dictates who gets global visibility. And yet, despite that, they've already achieved milestones many label-backed acts struggle to reach.
Yeah.
They've charted on Billboard, built a global fan base, and crossed major streaming thresholds that place them in serious international territory. That's what turns heads, because it wasn't supposed to happen this way. The system is designed to filter, control, and approve who rises. And SB19
Actually, totoo yan. Kasi may mga artist naman kasi talaga na lumalabas na, alam mo yung industry plant, kung tawagin, na mga industry plant, planted na mga artist na bigla na lang siyang susulpot. Like, isang kanta, tapos bigla na lang sumikat. Masasabi mga industry plant, kasi gusto na lang i-maximize yung ganong so binubuhusan talaga nila ng pondo, something ganon, lahat visibility doon sa artist na yon, para syempre pag sumikat yon, syempre kakagatin ng mga tao, no? So mamanipulate na nila yung market na ito yung ipupush nilang artist, no? So yeah, malaki yung talagang sense, malaking sense talaga yung malaking dagok yon para sa mga company label.
didn't wait for that approval.
Label company yun.
They moved forward anyway, and now they're generating numbers, attention, and momentum on a scale that forces the industry to pay attention. The uncomfortable truth here is simple. When an independent act starts performing at a global level, it exposes a weakness in the system itself. Because
True.
it proves that the gatekeepers
Kasi isipin mo, pwede naman palang sumikat ng isang artist na sarili nila yung label eh. So bakit pa kailangan naming magpa-under sa ganitong company, sa record label company na to, sa media company na to, 'di ba? Bakit kailangan pa naming magpa-under sa inyo kung si SB19 nga nagawa naman nila, so bakit kami hindi? So doon na magkakaroon talaga yan ng yung mga ganong company, possible na mawala na sila ng sarili nilang artist, 'di ba?
are no longer absolute. And SB19's rise is starting to look like something even more disruptive. They're doing global numbers without asking for permission.
True.
This is where the conversation shifts from strategy to something far more dangerous: execution. Because when SB19 steps on stage, everything changes. They're not built like typical studio-made acts that rely heavily on backing tracks and post-production
Yan, isa pa yan. Ito yung nung nakaraan yung 'di ba yung sa yung Feature Friday nga na ina-analyze nila yung mga kino-compare nila yung performance ng SB19 sa stage ng Akon 2025. So Akon 2025, tapos kino-compare nila yung performance ng SB19 to the other P-pop groups, K-pops, na bakit kailangan yung i-mute yung mic ng ibang artist samantalang kaya naman nilang kumanta. Like bakit si SB19 pure on natural voices nila when it comes sa pag-perform nila sa live audience. So bakit kayo parang kinukulong nyo yung ibang artist na mag-lip syncing, mag-voice, mag-lip sync, tapos voice over lang, mag-lip sync lang sila. Bakit kinukulong nyo yung ibang artist samantalang si SB19 kaya naman nila? So magagaling naman yung boses ng mga ibang artist, pero dahil nga parang ayaw nyong magkaroon ng mistake doon na makakasira sa reputasyon na yon, 'di ba? So yun yung hinaya nyo. Although sabi naman nila na maganda naman yung boses nila eh. May boses naman sila. Pero bakit hinahayaan nyo na magkaroon sila ng gray area sa kanilang career na pagdating sa live performance, kailangan nila mag-lip sync samantalang magaganda naman yung boses. 'Di ba? Kaya ito yung nagkakaroon nga ng bakit si SB19 nagagawa naman nila, 'di ba? Magaganda naman ang boses. So kayong mga nasa under label company, malalaking company niya, bakit piniprevent nyong ipakita talaga ng artist nyo yung kanilang performance, yung kanilang talent sa pagkanta, sa pagsayaw, di ba? Dahil ayaw nyong madungisan na kung sakaling sumablay, ayaw nyong madudungisan yung pangalan ng artist na yon. Pero kung syempre, kung may tiwala talaga kayo sa artist nyo, hindi nyo gagawin yon. Like, just like SB19. Tiwala sila sa talent nila. So, yeah, sige, bigay todo tayo. Walang lip syncing, walang auto-tune, 'di ba? Go lang tayo, go. Sige, push natin 'yan, 'di ba?
polish.
Yun lang naman.
Their reputation has been built the hard way, through live vocals delivered under pressure,
Yeah.
combined with choreography that doesn't scale down for comfort. This is full energy, high risk performance, where every note and every move
Yeah, the high risk kasi nga posibleng pumiyok pagdating sa live performance.
is exposed in real time. That's why they've earned a reputation many artists avoid being judged by.
Yeah, si Efra at saka si
Consistency on
Waleska, yung sa
stage.
Picture Friday
Fans
na,
often call them live vocal monsters. But what matters more is how that translates outside their core audience. Because Western festival crowds aren't emotionally invested, they don't care about backstory or fandom loyalty. They react instantly.
yun ang kaibahan ng mga Filipino fan sa foreign fan pagdating sa kahit anong artist, no? Kahit anong artist man, mapa SB19 man or ibang artist man. Ayun ang kaibahan ng mga westerner or foreign fan. Kasi ang ano nila, mas na-appreciate nila kung ano yung nare-receive nila sa ngayon, no? Pero syempre, marami tayong nakikita, napapanood ng mga foreign reactors na mas lalo silang nahuhook sa SB19 pag alam na nila yung pinaka-background story ng SB19. So, syempre, magdidepende pa rin naman yun sa kung papaano tanggapin ng mga ng mga fan, ng mga foreign fan, yung SB19. Pero madalas wala akong nakikita na nagba-back out pag narinig na nila ang SB19. Madalas continuous na yan eh, hanggang sa mapanood na nila yung background story ng SB19, kung paano magsimula. So, ayun.
If the performance hits, they respond.
Yeah, totoo.
If it doesn't, they move on.
Yeah,
There's
totoo
no
yan. Pag ayaw na, pag pangit, bahala ka na. Next, parang gano'n na yan eh. Pag ayaw na nila, sige, next artist, gano'n.
buffer. And that's exactly why SB19's approach becomes a weapon.
Yeah.
They don't rely on familiarity. They rely on impact.
Performance.
The kind you can't fake, edit, or filter. And here's the twist. Western audiences aren't fully prepared for that level of synchronized intensity paired with real vocal delivery.
Yes.
Which means when SB19 performs, they're not just showcasing music, they're forcing a reaction. Now the stakes become real. Because performing at Lollapalooza isn't just another milestone for SB19, it's a pressure test that defines trajectories. This isn't a concert filled with dedicated fans who already know every lyric and move. This is a massive, unpredictable crowd, often exceeding 100,000 people, made up of casual listeners, skeptics, critics, and people who might be seeing...
Good. Pag sa mga ganito kasi talagang event, no? Halo-halo na eh. Critics, mga ganun na. Yung mga nagdududa, no? Yung fan, halo. Kasama mo na yung fan mo dyan. Yung mga haters, meron din dyan. Posible dyan, may mga haters din na kasama dyan. Mga kritiko, no? Iba naman yung kritiko sa mga haters, no? Tapos yung mga tamang-tamang nod lang na andyan, halo-halo na yan eh. So,
SB19 for the very first time. And that changes everything. Because in that environment, nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
There's no built-in support system, no emotional bias in their favor.
Yeah.
Just raw exposure.
Pag mga ganyang event, wala talagang bias yan. Unless, siyempre, kung 18 ka at pumunta ka sa kanya, siyempre, bias mo SB19. Pero, karamihan kasi dyan, hindi ka kilala. So, kung gusto nila yan, sigurado magra-rock sa inyo yan dyan. Talagang sasabay sa yan. Pero pag hindi, siyempre, given yan lagi na hindi mo naman talaga lahat mapapa-induct sa'yo. So, syempre, may mga kanya-kanya din naman talagang taste yung mga nanonood dyan. So, ganyan lang naman yan.
This is where careers are either accelerated or quietly stalled.
Yeah.
If SB19 manages to capture attention, hold energy, and convert even a fraction of that audience, the effect could be explosive. Streaming numbers spike, media coverage expands, and industry doors open faster than expected. But if the connection doesn't land, momentum can slow just as quickly. That's the brutal honesty of festival stages. However, this is where SB19 holds a unique advantage. Their entire career has been built on winning over people who didn't expect to become fans. And that's the...
Yun yung sinasabi ko. Sa sinasabi dito ng narrator, isa na ako doon. Sa, hindi mo ako as a battle rap fan, hip-hop fan, tapos metalheads, sa tingin mo ba magugustuhan ko yung SB19? Sa level na, sa mga genre ng kanta na pinapakinggan ko, sa tingin mo ba? 'Di ba? Parang sa tingin mo ba magugustuhan ko? Syempre, sa unang ano mo pa lang, sa tingin mo pa lang, syempre hindi kasi ang pinapakinggan mo naman sobrang hindi siya pop eh. So ito yung sinasabi ng narrator na unexpected na
career has been built on winning over people. Diba? Holds a unique advantage. Their entire career has been built on winning over people who didn't expect to become fans.
Yeah, who didn't expect to become fan. Na isa na ako doon sa hindi ko na-expect na magiging fan ako ng SB19 pero asa na ako ngayon. Lulong na boy. Ano, sige, no? Nandun na ako sa pinakailalim boy ng pagiging fan ng SB19, di ba? So, eto yon.
And that's the real
na nangyayari sa akin. So, I think marami mangyayari pa sa iba, no? Mangyayari pa to sa iba, di ba? Kung titingnan mo, metalheads ka, tapos hip-hop fan, di ba? Power metal fan ka, tapos bigla kang nahumaling sa SB19. Ano yung boy? di ba? Parang naingkanto ka ba, no? Namaligno ka ba? Bakit bigla kang nag-switch ng taste ng kanta? Hindi ako sa dahil nag-switch ako ng genre ng music, no? Hindi dahil sa nag-switch ako kasi nakikinig pa rin naman talaga ako ng hip-hop, nakikinig pa rin ako ng rap, battle rap, gabi-gabi ako na nanonood no ng hip-hop ng Flip Top, gabi-gabi ako nanonood ng mga ina-upload sa Flip Top, gabi-gabi ako nakikinig ng mga bandang paborito ko, metal, power metal, no? Pero masasabi ko na additional si SB19 sa mga paborito kong pakinggan. Yun lang yun, additional na hindi mo ako i-expect na maging fan pero andito na ako ngayon, di ba?
Twist. SB19's biggest strength isn't just performing for supporters. It's converting skeptics into believers in real time.
True, isa rin yan. Skeptic ako talaga nung marinig ko yung parang SB19, ano yun? Parang ganyan eh. Skeptic ako nung time na yun, nung marinig ko yung mapa. Sabi ko, ano ba yan? Parang SB19, sino ba yan? Parang gano'n. May duda pa ako na na sikat sila, gano'n. Diba? Pero, yun, asa na ako ngayon,
There's
diba?
one factor the industry consistently underestimates when analyzing SB19.
Yeah.
And that's the sheer operational power of their fandom, A-Tin.
Yes.
This isn't just a passionate group of supporters posting online. This is a globally distributed, highly organized network that understands how modern visibility works. From coordinated streaming campaigns to precision voting during international award shows,
Yeah.
A-Tin doesn't react. They plan. They analyze algorithms, track release schedules, and mobilize across time zones with a level.
Yes. And ito na yung topic na nag-go back tayo doon sa pinakaumpisa, yung fan votes, no? So, si mismong mga 18 na tayong fandom na mismo yung nagmamarket sa SB19. Kumbaga, para sa atin, tayong mga 18, boys, focus lang kayo sa music nyo, no? Focus lang kayo sa pag-tour nyo, focus lang kayo sa paggawa ng music, focus lang kayo sa paggawa ng vlogs, focus lang kayo sa mga live performance nyo, sa mga guesting nyo, focus lang kayo sa mga paggawa ng mga show break, no? Focus lang kayo sa pagkikikolab sa mga ibang content creator. Kami na bahala mag-market sa inyo, no? Yun yung sinasabi dito na, 18, kami na bahala mag-market sa SB19. Kami na yung mga 18 sa ibang bansa, ibang market nila yung SB19 doon. Pag naandun, yes, sigaw-sigaw tayo doon. No? Kumbaga, attend tayo ng concert. Yun yung kaibahan ng 18 sa ibang fandom, no? Na tayo na mismo yung magmamarket sa kanila. No, syempre, si SB19, Once Entertainment, nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng mga videos, mga promotional campaign na gagawin nilang concert, ganyan-ganyan. Pero mostly kasi tayong 18 parang na sa atin yun eh. Kumbaga, habit na natin na gawin yun na i-promote pa yung bili na kayo ng ticket ng SB19. May ticket ba yung SB19? Open pa, ganito. Diba? So, ayun yung natin sa SB19 na tayo yung magmamarket para sa SB19. Basta sa SB19, focus lang sila sa ginagawa nila. Yun ang kaibahan natin.
Level of discipline that mirrors professional marketing teams.
Yeah.
And that changes the equation completely. Because in today's digital ecosystem, attention is currency, and A-Tin knows exactly how to generate it at scale. They don't wait for media coverage, they create it. They don't rely on radio, they drive streaming. They don't hope for trends, they engineer them. That's why SB19 continues to punch above what traditional metrics would predict.
True.
The core idea is simple but powerful. They don't just support, they mobilize.
Yes, we mobilize, di ba? Hindi lang kami mag-stick dito, boy. No? Kung ipopost namin ito sa Facebook, ipopost din namin ito sa YouTube, ipopost din namin ito sa lahat ng social media. Ganun.
And here's the twist that makes this even more disruptive. The fan base effectively functions like a decentralized marketing agency.
Yeah. Yun naman talaga kasi yung yung fans, yung 18, no? Sinasabi ko hindi tayo yung fan na pinupush through ng mga label company under yung artist, no? Kumbaga mismong fan na mismo yung pagmamarket, yung magpupush sa kanila.
Amplifying every move SB19 makes without the need for a traditional promotional machine.
True.
In an industry where visibility is often bought,
Yeah.
A-Tin proves it.
Bot, 'di ba, yung sinasabing ibabayaran ng record label company yung mga social media para i-push lang yung nila artist.
It can also be strategically built. To understand what's really happening with SB19, you have to zoom out beyond the group itself. Because this isn't just about one act gaining international traction, it's about the emergence of an entire movement. SB19 is widely recognized as a pioneer of modern P-pop on the global stage,
Yes.
and their breakthroughs, especially charting on Billboard, represent something much bigger than individual success. It signals that Southeast Asia is no longer just a consumer of global music trends, but a creator capable of exporting its own sound and identity. This is exactly how shifts begin. First comes one breakthrough act, then attention follows, and eventually an entire scene rises behind them. We've seen this pattern before. K-pop didn't become a global force overnight. It started with key acts breaking barriers. The same applies to the Latin wave, where artists gradually reshaped the global charts. Now, the early signs are pointing toward a similar trajectory for P-pop. The core idea is clear. This isn't just SB19 rising. It's a region rising with them. And here's the twist that makes this moment so important. If momentum continues, P-pop might not just enter the global arena. It could become the next major wave shaping it.
Yeah.
Here's the part no one in the mainstream industry wants to say out loud. The system has always preferred artists who are easy to manage, contract-bound, tightly controlled, and dependent on label infrastructure for visibility and growth.
Kasi pag mga ganun kasi, yung tightly controlled, contract-bound sila. So, wala silang ibang pwedeng gawin kundi kung anong sundin lang yung kung ano yung sinasabi or minamando ng mga record label company. Kung magkano lang yung kontratang, magkano lang yung ibigay sa kanila, yun lang. Wala silang say eh. Kasi lahat ng mga ginagawa nila, lahat ng mga songs nila is pag-aari mismo ng label company. So, as in wala. Pag umalis sila doon, yung mga kanta nila kahit sila mismo nagsulat is pag-aari mismo ng pag-aari na ng kampanya eh. Wala ka ng say doon eh. So, yun ang kaibahan nila from other artists talaga, promise, na may under label company.
That model keeps power centered.
Kaya para sa akin mas okay pa din naman yung may nasa independent artist ka, nasa independent field ka ng music industry. Kasi walang magmamando sa iyo kung ano yung gagawin mong kanta. Kasi may mga time na may sinulat kang kanta tapos i-review ng mga CEO, mga shareholder pag hindi nila nagustuhan, hindi baguhin mo yan, hindi yan kakagat, hindi yan papatok sa masa, hindi yan papakinggan ng tao. So, kahit yun yung gusto mong kanta, like personal experience mo yun, obligado kang palitan yun eh.
It ensures that decisions, profits, and long-term ownership stay within the system. But SB19 doesn't fit that model. And that's exactly why their rise feels disruptive. They represent something far more uncomfortable. Independence with results.
Yes.
Through 1Z Entertainment, they've built a structure where they own their brand, actively shape their creative direction, and participate in the business side of their careers. That level of control is what most artists fight for, but rarely achieve at scale. And yet, SB19 is doing it while expanding globally. That's the shift. Because if an independent act can compete internationally without giving up ownership, it challenges the idea that labels are necessary gatekeepers.
Pwede naman pala,
The core truth becomes impossible to ignore. SB19 represents artist independence in its most visible form. And here's the twist that turns this into a real industry threat. They're not just entering the system and playing by its rules. They're showing that the system itself might no longer be the only path forward. When you connect everything, the Silver Champion moment, the Chicago positioning, the Lollapalooza stage, you start to see the bigger picture forming around SB19. None of these moments exist in isolation. The award wasn't just recognition, it was a signal. A quiet indicator that SB19 has entered the radar of a larger ecosystem. The festival isn't just exposure, it's a test. A real-time evaluation in front of a global, unpredictable audience, and their growing presence in the US market. That's not the peak, it's the beginning. Because what we're witnessing isn't a single breakthrough moment tied to hype or temporary attention. It's a structural breakthrough moment tied to hype or
ganitong book ni Stel. Ang ganda ng pagkakalong hair ng book ni Stel, wavy.
Temporary attention. It's a structured transition into a much bigger stage. The core idea becomes clear when you step back. This is not a moment. It's a shift.
Yes.
A shift in how artists can rise, how markets can open, and how global influence can be built without following the traditional script. SB19 didn't arrive here by waiting for validation. They built momentum step by step, opportunity. And that leads to the final realization that defines everything. SB19 didn't wait for the global stage. They built their way onto it.
Yan. So, yep, I think doon na muna magtatapos ang ating live, no? It's already 12 p.m. naman. So, again, yung sinabi ko kanina na yung ano kasi yung alam mo yung contribution din talaga kasi ng fan is malaking factor yon sa pagkilala sa isang artist, no? So, para sa akin, syempre, lagi kong sinasabi na malaking factor din talaga ang binibigay na support ng 18 or ng anything, ng any fan sa isang artist, no? Kasi sila yung nag-ano na rin kumbaga, nagma-market ng hindi kailangan ng financial support, 'di ba? So, I think yun sa mga nag ano tawag mo dito, sa mga may mga sinasabi pagdating sa mga ganyan, sa mga ganyang award na yan, na nanalo yung artist, tapos hindi yung artist nila. Ang masasabi ko lang, damihan nyo yung fan nyo. Yun lang. Damihan nyo, supportan nyo yung artist na gusto nyo, at huwag kayong magreklamo kung yung artist na gusto nyo hindi nanalo dahil kulang yung boto ng artist nyo. So, yan. Magpalaganap kayo ng fan ng artist nyo, no? Ganun lang. So, yep. Ganun lang. Hindi kailangan hindi kailangan pagdebatehan yan. Kung maraming fan ng isang artist, mananalo yan. So, hindi nyo kailangan questionan yung artist na nanalo. No? Hindi nyo kailangan questionan yung artist na nanalo dahil binoto sila ng marami ng tao, di ba? So, yan. Kasalanan ba ng artist na yan na marami silang fan? Di ba? Hindi. Kasalanan nyo dahil hindi nyo sinuportahan yung artist na gusto nyong manalo. End of conversation. Goodbye. Lunch na tayo. Bye-bye.